With an aging population, we are seeing farming families begin to transition their businesses over to the next generation. Randy Collins is a managing lawyer with Getz Collins and Associates and joins us this morning with some advice on how to make that transition go smoothly. Good morning, Randy. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
This can be, I imagine, a fairly complex process. So why is estate planning especially critical for Alberta farm families?
So as we know, farming families are intergenerational, though the intent and the hope for a lot of families is that the next generation does want to take over the farm and does want to come in and keep that legacy going. And the most important part of any kind of succession planning is to do it early, to make sure that we understand and the family all understands what is the plan? How is this farm going to stay in the family? And how are we going to implement strategies perhaps soon or in the future, some pre-death and some post-death?
You mentioned, starting this planning early. What issues would come up if you don't? What might you see if a farm family delays estate planning here in Alberta?
One of the main things that we do see is that there's always the potential of tax issues that are going to come into play. We do recommend always working with an accountant right away, knowing exactly what should be done prior to death and what should be done after death to make sure there isn't some tax consequences that happen. Additionally, when you do leave land to multiple children, there's the potential that one may want to sell, one may want to farm, and making sure that we know from the outset before the next generation starts to commit their own time and their own money as to what is the intention as to who is going to run the farm or how you're going to own this jointly if there are multiple children.
So when should Alberta farm families start this planning? And then what legal tools would you recommend that they consider?
So the number one kind of test that we look at is, do we know that there are going to be next generations involved? And from the first day that somebody is stepping foot on the farm, that we know they're going to be involved in the business, we usually recommend starting to decide then how you're going to structure it, whether or not it's through a corporation, whether or not the company is going to just be run through individual ownership, partnerships, joint ventures. There's a ton of different ways we can structure the business to make sure that it is the ownership that is desired by everyone that's going to be involved, but also making sure that everyone understands what their role is and how the land is going to be rolled over. So we usually recommend make sure you're speaking with those professionals right away, get those agreements in place if necessary, and speak with those accountants to make sure that there isn't a tax issue.
Very good advice. Randy, thank you so much for your time today. We certainly appreciate it. Once again, Randy Collins is a managing lawyer with Getz Collins and Associates. And for more information, you can head to getzcollins.com.
Sponsored by Getz Collins and Associates, attorneys with modern ideas and old world values.